You get why like running a marathon is a big deal. There's that moment of connecting with why I'm doing this.
Running a marathon is pretty hard, but doing it to raise money for Type 1 makes it worthwhile.
I know for a fact that this is what Murphy would be wanting us to do in honor of him. Murphy loved Steamboat in Colorado, got to take advantage of everything from skiing to mountain biking to hiking. He was always setting goals for himself and trying to do his very best.
But that day in the fall when he was diagnosed is very vivid in my mind. You know, he'd been exhibiting symptoms for a bit, you know, sort of weight loss of appetite, peeing all the time. And it was just strange for Murphy, right? Like the kid was always kind of on top of us and kind of the in terms of energy in the house, and he had slowed down a lot.
Murphy loved adventures. He was just a very spontaneous and adventurous person.
One of my final times that we got to spend with Murphy before he died actually was when Cassady ran her first marathon. We went out to a point of the race to cheer her on. And at that point, that wasn't good enough for Murphy. He decided to get onto the course and run with Cassady. He was not prepared to run. I'm sure he didn't have the good shoes on, but he wanted to support his sister and get her to the finish line.
He was screaming at me and chirping me, but also in such a loving way. And yeah, I cherish that memory and think about it often when I'm out running by myself. After Murphy died, I found Breakthrough was doing some New York Marathon entry spots. I decided to jump in on that as just kind of a way to put my grief somewhere and do something productive. It was within a year of Murphy passing, and I was really struggling. I did that in 2018 with one of Murphy's college teammates. I felt very inspired and empowered by it because it was a tangible way to raise money for something that really mattered to Murphy. Running a marathon is pretty hard and the training takes a long time, but doing it to raise money for Type 1 makes it a worthwhile endeavor.
Luke, my partner, he never got to meet Murphy, which is truly devastating to me in so many ways. As we're getting to know each other, sort of unpacking this big part of my life, which is Murphy, we were talking about T1D, and Luke mentioned that his grandfather, who was a physician, a doctor in Canada, knew none other than Sir Frederick Banting.
Well, I have a sort of, I guess, unique kind of history with Type 1, and this is actually a picture of my grandfather. This picture was drawn by his friend, Sir Frederick Banting. It was easy to bond with Hig early on when he kind of shared this. Banting was like the most famous Canadian of, his time. It was sort of like we had this weird family connection with this incredible man who was featured on the $100 bill in Canada. And the more I've gotten to know his brother, his sister, and his mom and his dad, so much of them is shaped by the loss of their brother. And I'm very grateful to kind of get to know his brother as much as I possibly can through his family's advocacy, and for them allowing me to sort of be part of it, to help honor his memory and keep his name alive.
Luke jumping into the advocacy part of this has just been enjoyable because the three of us, it's an intense thing for us. We're all grieve a little bit differently. Being able to run a marathon together, train for the marathon together, fundraise for it together is pretty amazing. And Luke just jumped right in and said, I want to be a part of this.
He would like to beat me in the London Marathon. I don't know if that's gonna happen.
I never said I want to beat you. But
you say you want to hang.
Mostly I don't want to hold my sister back too.
She was the one that, this was a big part of her way of, honoring Murphy. And she said, let's do this marathon. I was like, oh.
Cassady called me on a Friday. She was like, hey, do you want to do the London Marathon? I think you're out of town. And I just signed both of us up that afternoon. I was like, we're doing it.
We are currently standing in the recovery ward of the London Marathon. I feel pretty rough, I'm not gonna lie. These two did much better than I did.
Feel great, feel accomplished, feel proud of this team that we're a part of, and accomplished that we did it together.
And they did it together. They finished like 2 minutes apart.
Like twins would, right?
Like twins would.
It's been a year of fundraising, training, and a lot of thinking about our brother Murphy and remembering him and honoring him through all of that hard work. So it's been a really great journey. A whole year we've been planning this, and it's fun to finally be at the finish line of it.
If someone was contemplating to join Breakthrough for a marathon, I would say do it. Specifically Breakthrough, it's been incredibly welcoming. We're not gonna leave anyone behind.
If you're foolish enough to want to run a marathon, do it with this organization.